Tuning into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody. You are watching and listening to AFTERBUZZ TV's Spotlight On. I'm Jason Ikeler. This lovely lady to my left, Mikaela Phillips. Before we get started, we want to make sure everybody subscribe to our YouTube channel, rate, comment. We'll write back. If you're on iTunes and SoundCloud, welcome, and make sure you're subscribed to those as well. And if you want to join in the conversation, we're using the hashtag AskNate today, because take it away, Mikaela.
Because we have joining us today for our Spotlight On upcoming country artist and, let's say, very handsome Nate Green. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nate.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Welcome to AFTERBUZZ.
I know, it's awesome.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Is it different than the South, obviously?
It's hot.
Yes.
It is hot. You should be used to that a little bit.
It is extremely warm here for February in LA.
Sorry if you're in the cold.
Right now it's freezing in Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, it's so cold.
We're going to heat things up.
Well, let's go.
With a game of Would You Rather.
Oh, dang.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
You know how it works,
It's
right?
like 5th grade all over again.
It's like 5th grade.
Hold on, let me put that fingers
Except for
out.
whenever you get a question wrong, you
down.
have to take a piece of clothing off.
Okay. Or,
Welcome to AFTERBUZZ Gone
you know
Wild.
what you're getting into, Nate.
Okay, would you rather have no one show up to your wedding or funeral?
Wedding.
Wedding?
Yeah.
Because you're there, right?
Yeah, I think
what I would
funeral I
say.
wouldn't know. Well, I don't know. You may be watching it, you know.
I think I'd want to be at my own funeral, though. Don't you think?
I know, I would say wedding too, because I mean, you can have like a private wedding, so who cares if no one comes then?
That's true. Okay, next
True.
question. Would you rather find true love or have $10 million?
True love. Come on now, Jason.
You're all about the true love?
I don't know. $10 million is pretty good.
I know, you can buy true love
Is it
at that
cash or
point.
check? Is it cash or check?
We can make it cash. You don't have to pay taxes on that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the next question is, could you live without music or TV?
Without TV.
Yeah, would you rather live without music or
Yeah,
TV?
I can't live without music.
That's probably good since,
Yeah.
you know, you're a singer.
I mean, you know.
You're right. Oh no, just take the TV.
Yeah,
It
I
goes-
don't
it
need
goes
music,
hand in
it's
hand.
fine. Okay, would you rather be invisible or have the ability to read minds?
Ooh, read minds.
Whose mind do you most want to read?
What are you all thinking right now?
I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking.
Michaela's blushing. I'm
Am
just
I?
kidding. No, you're
No,
not.
oh like, it's hot in LA. No.
Yeah, it's hot enough.
Is there any
Hey, if you
celebrity
guys
whose
were
mind
sitting
you
next
want
to
to
Nate,
read?
I think you would be blushing too. All you girls have been amazing sending in fan questions, which we will get to later.
It's all this energy drink. It's hot.
I think there was a few people that were like, Nate, can I be in your next music video? And I think there was like 2 girls fighting over which one will marry you.
Oh, wow. All the ladies.
In the music video.
Okay.
Marriage in the music video.
Marriage in the music video.
Yeah.
That's
There
what we
you
got.
go.
Okay. Would you rather use sandpaper as toilet paper or hot sauce as eye drops?
Wow. I think about that every morning.
Do you?
Hot sauce
As eye drops?
as eye drops.
That would.
Ouch.
I don't know what I would want.
I don't even want to
That's
look
a
at
really
sandpaper.
tricky one.
Yeah, this is a hard. These are tough hitting
What about
questions.
you? What about you, Jason?
I don't know because do you go blind from the hot sauce?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Well, are you eating chicken with it or not?
I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so I guess not.
So then no.
But I do like hot sauce. I don't know.
I think the next one's actually a little bit more interesting too. It's, would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and good looking?
Oh man. Rich and ugly or poor and good looking? I don't know.
You don't know?
Rich and ugly, you can buy a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
maybe you'll be
rich-
more
right?
happy if you're
Yeah, I
poor and
guess
good looking.
I don't.
Because you can work your way up, can't you?
Ugly people are happy
don't know.
too, Mikaela.
Hey, I'm just going with the questions, Jason.
Okay.
What is it like in Australia? Is it like this?
For what?
Is it,
exactly.
Is it rich and?
I think there's a good mix probably of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugly and poor people.
Oh gosh, this is just sounding worse and worse as it goes on. Everyone's beautiful.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, we're talking about
I know.
this.
It's okay. Let's talk about your music background.
Okay.
When did you first get into music?
I started singing in the choir in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was singing in the choir. Just kind of did that for a little bit. I originally just wanted to sing, you know, and so I moved to Nashville. And then I met up with an agent, and he was like, if you want to make it in this town, you got to learn. He didn't talk like that. He was like, if you want to make it in this town, you got to learn how to play, and you got to learn how to write. So then I started doing both, and, you know, my passion kind of shifted more to the writing side.
Oh, that's cool. So you went straight to work, basically, going into the writing and the
Yeah, pretty
learning
much.
for everything.
I mean, you're fighting with, you know, everybody can sing.
Yeah.
Especially in the studio, you know what I mean? So you just have to have something different. And so he was like, you know, make sure you find something different and learn how to write and learn how to do you.
Yeah,
So-
it makes me think of Jason Aldean's song, and it's like everybody plays,
Everybody
everybody sings. Was getting into music something that you always wanted? Did you ever think of any other career options?
I would think it was my first choice. You know, definitely it's hard to go into music and think, okay, what's my backup plan?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't give it 110% like you need to. If I wasn't doing this though, my family is in the funeral business.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy.
Surprise.
interesting.
So I probably would be, you know, I probably would have fallen into that family business.
Family
Yeah,
business.
just like that.
And you didn't want anyone to show up at your funeral.
I mean, you know,
This is interesting. Yes.
because I know all about the funerals.
And you moved around a lot as a kid, I was reading. Did that impact your songwriting at all?
Yeah, it did. You know, well, not necessarily as a kid. I didn't move around until, you know, after high school.
Okay.
And so I've lived, you know, in like 3 or 4 different cities. It does, just because I moved to Nashville originally and, you know, was writing country and was singing country and just doing the same thing that everybody else was doing. And you just kind of fall into the pool of everyone else, and it's hard to stand out and, you know, get attention in any way. So then I moved around and tried to listen to different, you know, culture sounds and what influences them, and try to pull different things into make my own sound and my own style.
Did you ever think moving around that maybe you would lose country? Or was that always just kind of ingrained in you?
I mean, I grew up on country.
Okay.
So I think the writing is country, but I love to play with sounds, and I love to, you know, push the envelope a little bit. So I don't think it's ever losing that factor. It's just mixing, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't like doing the same thing, and I think that shows it's a good artist or someone's a good artist. You know, like Taylor Swift, you know,
Yeah.
reinventing herself every album. And I think that's something really hard to do, and I really admire an artist that can do that. So that's something I want to be able to do.
And you're kind of country pop, and she's transitioned completely to pop.
Right.
Could you see yourself following in her footsteps?
I don't know. That's a good
Potentially?
question. You know, I think that transition is, you know, natural, because you kind of dabble in different sounds, so then you kind of want to go a little further and a little further. So I think she was at the point where it was just, you know, jump all in that sound. But I don't think I'm ready. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm ready to jump in yet.
Not quite.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I don't know. I like, you know, R&B, and I like different EDM influences, and even, you know, Latin music. So I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, well, your music does have that, like Jason just said, that pop edge to it as well, with the country lyrics that you put in there. Was there at some point in your career where people kind of wanted you to change what you were doing, and you just wanted to stick to what you believed in as an artist?
You say when?
Yeah, like was there any
Did you ever
chance
feel
in-
pressure?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
to change who you were as an
absolutely.
artist.
The first time I was in Nashville, you know, I was writing, you know, with this company, and it was the same thing everyone else was doing, you know, and that's kind of originally what pushed me to move the first time, because I was writing the same music. It sounded like everyone else on the radio, and there was nothing special about it, you know, and so it would have been hard to put that out and have it just blend in, you know. At least that's not for me.
Yeah. What do you think about, there's a lot of like bro country happening right now.
Yeah.
And there's all these things you see on YouTube where it's like all of these artists sound the same and their song sounds the same.
Have you seen that? It's like
Yeah.
a 6-song mashup.
And it's
Yeah.
like the 6
I know.
number 1 male country singers.
I played
What's
it to
your
my
take
friend
on
the other
that?
day, and he was like, "Oh my god."
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of people kind of not complain, but a lot of people are saying, you know, country's fallen to the same format as pop. You know, it's a similar formula for songs. And that's, you know, I think a lot of the problem is people just do what works,
Yeah.
and then they continue to do what works.
Well, and I think it's almost the same, like pop is like the same 3 producers and now country is the same 3 producers and songwriters. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's why I like artists who can be, you know, creative, be original. Like, for instance, Keith Urban, I've always loved him. I think everything he puts out is something different. You know, there's something original to it.
Yeah.
So I like that, you know, I mean, I love those songs. I mean, have you seen that video?
Yeah.
I mean, I love all of them. But
They're all good songs.
Yeah, they're all really good songs. So I don't know, it just, you know, that's the beat of their drum. That's what they like.
And you're striving to do something different and more unique.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to be inventive, you know, I wanted to just put out something different, like a different sound, and just, you know, challenge people to listen to something different, you know.
And embrace it. Which so many of your fans have done. And speaking of, let's talk about Roadmap. Congratulations on your EP.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've had to listen to it, and it sounds amazing.
Sing a song.
Sing it.
We are
here to interview.
You're the
singer. You don't want to hear that. Everybody will stop listening. Talk to us about like the creative process in the EP.
It actually took a while, just because you know, moving around and pulling different influences. I called it Roadmap just because every song I wrote in a different city.
Okay.
And when the entire project was finished, I kind of, you know, laid it down and took a step back, and I was like, wow, this is literally like a roadmap, you know, taking me where I needed to go next. So that's why I called it Roadmap.
I like
that.
But
the creative process was, I mean, it was hard. You know, you write stuff, you go through that, like, this is awesome. Then you're like, God, this sucks. It's like, I don't want anyone to hear this. And you're like, it's amazing.
How many songs did you say you wrote that didn't make the EP?
About 30.
30?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
about 30, 35.
That's a lot of creative process and a lot of reinventing to keep constantly coming up with something new to write about.
Yeah.
Where do you constantly draw your inspiration from then to keep writing?
I'm not really one to just sit down in a room and be like, okay, I'm writing from 2 to 4. You know, it just kind of hits me like a ton of bricks. So I could be walking down the street in the gym, or I don't know, just wherever. And so I just sit down and like do a little voice memo or something like that.
I was gonna say, do you like carry around
Hold
like
on.
paper or a
Hold
pen?
on. I'm getting an idea.
You're getting something.
Hold on.
Oh, right now I'm like,
good.
go for it. Do you do any of the writing workshops that happen in Nashville, or did you write the whole album yourself?
I co-wrote a little bit for it, but I tended to gravitate towards the songs I wrote myself, just because I wanted that to be the first introduction of, you know, myself and this sound, and just really have it be all from me for this time around. But I mean, definitely co-writing.
Were you striving when you wrote it to make sure it didn't sound like anything else out on the radio?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the producers I picked for the certain tracks. Like, for instance, Wild and Free, the guy who produced it, Nemo Wave, is in Spain.
Okay.
And so he was getting really big at the time I wrote the track, and I knew a guy that knew him, and so I had an acoustic version of Wild and Free, and I sent it, and I was like, hey, you know, I really like what you're doing over there right now. Let's see if we can work on it. And he was like, I got it.
That's
And
awesome.
am I correct when I say that you actually recorded it in Spain?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that.
Wrong.
Incorrect.
No. I actually recorded my part in Miami. And so he did all of it in Spain.
Oh, wow.
Is
that's
that
amazing.
interesting to record a country song not in Nashville?
It's funny. Especially for the people in the studio, because we're doing a country song in the middle of, you know, Miami and all these palm trees, and the engineers are like,
Turn up the twang.
they're like, okay, let's turn this down, let's turn it up. No, it's cool.
What was some of the feedback that you were getting from the producers that you worked with constantly through the creative process?
Good. It was good. You know, just because I picked people I knew their sound, and I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew what they could do, and they knew what they could push me to do. So it was cool just to be able to work with that. And a lot of the sound honestly came from them. You know, a lot of it was their ideas and just bouncing stuff off the wall, seeing what works and seeing what didn't. You know, like Wild and Free is a banjo with this drum beat under it. You know, it's like, where does that come from?
Yeah.
But it's cool just because it works.
We got to talk about the Wild and Free video.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very sexual. Did you?
It's PG.
It's
a
like
little
PG
risque.
sexual. When you were making the video, who came up with the concept?
Me, actually. Yeah, I reached out to this producer, Naive Ramos. He's based here in LA, actually.
Okay.
So we did it here. I want to say what's the desert around here?
Palm Springs, or is it Death
I'm
Valley? Is that more like
directionally
Las
challenged.
Vegas?
There's a lot of deserts
There's
around
quite
here,
a
isn't
few,
there?
yeah.
Okay, I don't remember. It was
Somewhere in the
Somewhere in the
California
desert.
desert.
one of those deserts. But yeah, it was this cool little movie set in the middle of the desert, and I told him I wanted a Bonnie and Clyde theme. you know, I thought that song visually would look awesome with that theme.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's do it. I know, you know, exactly what to do. I got this place. So it was, a lot of the visual effects was his idea.
Did you get to pick the girl?
I actually didn't.
Really?
No, the girl who was supposed to do it backed out like the last minute.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
so the girl who's in it, her name's Vivian. She's awesome. She just jumped in last minute and it worked. It was awesome. She made it.
Well, that's
made
great.
the
You wouldn't even be able to tell if
No,
you
not at
hadn't
all.
even told us.
Yeah, I mean, she rocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely had some chemistry for the song.
She was good.
Was that like your first time having to work with someone
Basically.
like on video in
Yeah.
You
that
just
type
take
of
your
way?
clothes off.
It
And
was like,
go
Nate,
for it.
Vivian, Nate, okay, lay on the bed.
Is that uncomfortable? Because everybody always says when
People
you're doing
always
like a
say,
sex scene or something, it's not sexy because there's cameras.
So many
in your
people
place and,
watching.
like,
Well, it's funny because if you look at the scene, the camera's right here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to pretend like there's not a camera. And just, you know.
making eyes at it.
Yeah, it's like, so no, it was cool.
Are you trying to be, because I know teen.com named you one of the, let's make sure we get
10
this right.
hottest guys in country music.
Are you trying to be
Dang.
a sex symbol?
I mean, I don't think anyone tried. Well, maybe some people tried to, but I mean, not. It's flattering. I think
Yeah.
my mom
Yeah.
likes it more than I do.
Okay.
Is she going around just saying, hey, my son got
Like,
this?
look at this, y'all.
Check out his abs.
Check this out.
Oh my gosh.
No,
that's-
it was awesome for them to include me in that because I mean, everyone on the list was, you know.
yeah, it was
these
crazy. You were up
big-
against like Florida Georgia Line guys and like
Yeah, it was
Hunter
awesome.
Hayes, and that's a really cool title to receive.
I was pumped. Yeah, I was pumped. It was cool.
Very cool.
And you have a new video coming out too, correct?
Yep.
What can you tell us about that?
It's even more. What am I trying to say?
Sexy?
I was about to say that. Literally just took that.
Sexy. No, we're definitely pushing the envelope. You know, even more visually
Okay.
with country music. I did it with a guy named Edgar Steves out of Miami, actually. Do you know an artist named Jake Miller?
Yeah.
So he does a lot of his stuff, and I saw a lot of his videos. I was like, yo, I want you on this song specifically. Because Backroad has a very country mix with very EDM chorus, you know, like a dubstep influence type of thing. And so we just, you know, picked this idea and ran with it.
That's really
It's
cool.
fun. Yeah, we shot the whole video, you know, 1 month, and then we went back a month later and shot the rest of it, and it's been a fun process.
Yeah, that's
So
really cool.
it's finished. It's in
Yeah.
your phone.
Oh, so you.
Yes, I know. You did send
I sent it to
me.
her just a little bit ago.
Maybe we'll leak that. Don't worry, we won't.
Leak it.
Are you worried at all because the country audience is very conservative, stereotypically, whether it comes to music or it comes to image?
Right.
Are you worried at all pushing the envelope in both directions?
Not really.
No.
You know, I think I was before, just how, you know, I would be perceived and how, you know, the sound would be, and it just was always going to be an uphill battle with any of it. But then you just get to a point where you're like, you know what, I mean, if y'all want to do the same thing, then do the same thing. You know, just because I feel like the individuality and the different sound will stand out on its own. And I mean, the people who have, you know, wrapped their arms around that, it's been awesome
Yeah.
for like the social media and everything.
That's great. And you're
Yeah.
actually working on a special Latin song for your Latin market.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Not much. No, but it's gonna be awesome. I'm actually doing a big show down there in April.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with some
That's
big
cool.
artists down there. So it was an invitation type of thing. So I was honored to be a part of that. But we're gonna be putting out a track down there for them.
Yeah. How
Yep.
soon can we expect that?
Pretty soon, actually.
Oh, okay.
Are you singing in Spanish on it?
Not entirely.
Not entirely?
Not
Just
entirely.
a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poquito.
So it's like
Poquito
Spanglish.
Yeah. No,
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so you have like a lot of Latin fans, so I'm sure they're going to be going crazy and like
I
love it.
hope.
And
I
now
mean,
they
th-
can see you.
They're
They're
crazy
performing.
down there, you know. It's cool to see different regions and different cultures, how passionate they are about their artists.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's cool to be immersed in that and have them embrace you like that.
It's
Yeah.
interesting, too,
excited.
since you are country, that you're not taking, like, this stereotypical country
Yeah.
route.
Which
Because, you know,
is- which
most
is
people
actually something
don't, until
great.
they're, like, 5 albums in, go out of the U.S.
True.
Which is great. Like I actually would commend you on that.
Thank you.
Sometimes
Thank you.
going forward isn't going necessarily forward. Like it's going sideways
Yeah.
to get there. And
Well, and I think that's a lot of the issue with, you know, joining on with the management or joining on with an agent, because no one has the same route. You know, no one has the same route to where they want to be. And so when people, you know, take on new artists and do the same thing they did with another artist, it just kind of, you fit or fall into that mold,
Yeah.
you know. So I think going international and really just trying to get the country out there, you know, the music out there, it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, and it's not always necessarily an easy journey to get to where you want to go. What have been the moments so far in your career where you've had like an ups and downs, and what's kept you motivated to keep going through those times?
A lot of social media, to be honest.
Your fans?
Really?
I mean, it's awesome just to be able to see, you know, what they have to say about everything. Because, I mean, the day my album came out, I was just like a nervous wreck, you know, because I'd been working on it for 2 years, and then that day it was out.
Wow.
So it was awesome to see what everyone had to say and the good feedback. But I think the biggest struggle is, you know, just keeping your sanity, you know, just staying humble and staying focused, and, you know, keeping your values and morals.
Well, and
I think
you've
it's
worked
huge.
with artists. Let me just list all these: Dierks Bentley, Zach Brown Band, Little Big Town. You've opened for them on tour. Have any of them given you advice on how to stay humble in your career and keep moving?
It's funny because Little Big Town, they were some of the most humble people I've ever met in my entire life.
That's so cool.
I was like 22 maybe, you know, and I was just like, yeah, maybe not like that, but
Close enough.
yeah, close enough. That's the Spanish song coming
Oh,
out.
okay, there you go.
And
You heard it first at AFTERBUZZ TV.
yeah, there you go. But I mean, they just, you know, to see them in their element and in their zone, you know, it was just another day on stage for them, and it was awesome just how appreciative they were of the fans every time, you know, every show, every person, because that person may have been waiting to meet you for, you know, 2-3 years, you know, and that impression is what people really hang on to. It's not really what you say or, you know, what you do. It's kind of how you make them feel. So I love that about them.
That's
really
cool.
great.
Yeah.
And going forward, what artists of your choice would you like to work with or do a duet with?
You.
Me?
Yeah, let's sing.
Thank you.
This turns into a musical.
AFTERBUZZ TV,
AFTERBUZZ
the musical.
I've heard Mikaela sing it. It is beautiful.
Oh, well,
No,
thank
I
you,
haven't
Jason. No,
really.
you haven't.
Okay, speaking of your fans, we are gonna. I don't know if we were speaking of your fans, but I just said that anyway.
We should.
have so
Speaking of
many
chocolate.
tweets.
So many
Speaking
fan
of chocolate,
questions.
I'm gonna bring some of these
You
up.
call them wild things, that's correct?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Okay, well, wild things. You guys have been so awesome. I've been
Thank you.
loving receiving all your tweets. It's been epic, and we're actually gonna scroll
Read some
through
fan questions
and
Okay.
give
right
you some
now.
fan questions. I think I saved.
Are you ready?
I'm
Pressure is on.
All right,
Go.
here we go. Who do we have here?
Do you have any pets? This is from Wild Things USA.
No.
No pets?
I used to have horses. I used to show horses when I was growing up.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Are
Yep.
you like a cat person? I feel like everyone's a cat person or a dog
I'm
person.
so allergic to cats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dog person?
There's not enough Zyrtec in CVS to
Oh,
keep
wow.
a cat in my house.
That's like,
What about dogs?
I love dogs. Yeah, I want a dog. I'm just never home enough to.
Yeah, dogs are a big commitment.
Yeah.
I feel like if
It's
you're
like a
gonna have a
kid.
dog, yeah, you might as well have a kid.
Yeah, you
At
might
least
as well
they
have
can
both.
eventually do
Yeah.
things for
A
you.
kid and a dog.
there's actually a question here from Charles K Fan 83,
Okay.
and she would like to know. Well, I think it's a she. They asked, which is more difficult to learn and/or play, guitar or banjo?
Well, I taught myself how to learn the guitar.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But the banjo I play is a 6-string, so it's strung just like a guitar. So it's like a banjo.
Okay, so it's so you
a
it's not too hard for
banjotar.
you.
It's because a typical banjo is 5 strings, but I haven't learned to play that yet.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe that's next.
That's next.
This is from the Wild Wolfies, and they want to know if your fans who are out there trying to become singers, what's your advice?
Ooh, that was deep.
I
That
saw
was
a
really
lot
deep.
of tweets from
From
them,
the
so
Wild
thank you for
Wolfies.
sending
That
them
was
in.
deep. You gotta make sure that's exactly what you want to do. You know what I mean? Because you can't jump into the industry, and you can't take away from your passion if it's not 200%. You know, you just have to completely do it. And I think that's the hardest part, is really actually doing it and jumping into it.
Making that huge leap.
Yeah.
Taking a leap of faith,
Yeah,
actually, and
it's-
believing in yourself.
It's having no plan B. You know what I mean? It just, you have to do it.
I completely understand that,
That's
actually.
good,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so commend that.
Yeah.
We actually have a question from @CQ Martina. And
Hey.
oh, you know them? You want to
Oh,
give
no,
a shout?
just-
Oh, you should say hey.
What's going on? What up?
And they
Wait.
said, what's the wildest thing you've ever done?
Oh man. I don't know if I
Be
can say
careful
that. I don't
now.
know if
Yeah,
I can
be
say that
careful
on
now.
air. Hold on. Don't listen, Mom. Don't listen. I don't know. Jeez.
Right, recently.
The wildest thing I've ever done, I probably can't remember it, to be honest.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that bad.
You know.
What I do when I'm blackout drunk is none of my business. I read that online. I'm going to put that on a quilt. Okay, this is from Brandon Moore. He wants to know, what are your favorite things to do outside of music and performing?
I'm big into fitness. I love fitness. I love going to the gym. I love listening to music in the gym. That's like a lot of the tracks I wrote and stuff, just hearing the different rough mixes and stuff was always in the gym. I would say just anything, you know, trying to get outside. Nashville is cold right now, so you can't really get outside too much. So that's what I'm excited about in LA the next couple of days is to get outside and get some sun.
And speaking of the gym, this one's from Mikaela Phillips. And she wants to know, can we see your abs?
Weird.
I never recall doing that.
I just came up on my phone.
Wow.
I don't know.
I got the same text.
That's crazy.
So weird.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thanks everybody for sending those questions. And we
Yes,
got
thank
a
you.
ton.
Thank
Those
you.
were the best. So those are the ones we read.
That was awesome.
Okay, what do you have coming up the rest of the year?
You know, what I'm most looking forward to is this step in Mexico. You know, the next couple months we're really going to be very, very prominent down there and really releasing some stuff down there. And, you know, the Wild and Free video is getting ready to be on some networks there. And so just, you know, pushing that single and then pushing Back Road. So I'm excited for everyone to see this next music video. Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I actually have it already, don't I? So
you got to pull it up right now?
Tonight.
They won't be able to see it, so I can't pull it up for them to see. But
can
I can watch it while I'm
like
sitting here. I think that's just too much of a tease.
We'll give you 3 minutes.
Just take a second. And so they can get the EP now, correct? Where can they get it?
Yep, you can get it on iTunes.
iTunes, perfect.
iTunes.
And what's your website?
NateGreenMusic.com.
And if we want to follow you on social media, I think everybody already is.
Yep, all the same. Nate Green Music.
Awesome.
Tweet me.
Thank you so much for coming into
Thank
this.
you so much for joining us.
Thank
All the way
you all.
from
Appreciate
Nashville.
it. All the way from Nashville.
There you go.
Come back again, Mikaela. Where can we find more from you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Mickey_Phillips and on social media at Mikaela Phillips.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler. And you can find AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes at AfterBuzz TV. For Mikaela and Nate, I'm Jason Ikeler. We will see you guys in here next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.